Hey, welcome to another episode of The Drop. This would be episode 8. I just found out about, it's like Sadhguru or something. I looked up his name. I think it was Jagi Vasadov or something like that. Either way, I was just, I don't know, I guess I was on the internet looking for something, and then I ran across this video that said I think it's Sadhguru. I'm just gonna say Sadhguru because I don't really know. But it was talking about the Sadhguru was talking with a scientist about why I guess our body and our minds are separate. And I didn't really come to that conclusion, but there was something really interesting in there that I felt like resonated with me. So, recently, this happened between, last episode of The Drop and this episode, so I haven't, obviously this is where I'm going to be talking about it. So I sat down and I was just really inspired at that moment. So I just started typing, and I was putting together. So I don't think I've talked about this a lot, but I have this vision. You know what I mean? This has a purpose, and this is going towards something. Because at some point in my future, and this is the first time I've ever talked about this. I call it project communication. And the whole idea is to create leaders out of the lower class, because I believe, just being someone who, not saying that any of the people I have been around are the lower class, but the people I've been around, I went to public school growing up, and so I at least got to experience some of that culture. Because look, being rich or being poor is more of a mental thing. You know what I mean? Me in comparison to a lot of other people, I would consider myself rich, because I feel wealthy. I feel like I have an abundance of everything I need. But then you could take someone at my same level, show them a picture of Eminem, and they would be like, oh, they're not rich. You know what I mean? Likewise, you could take one of the people that I go to school with, show them someone I don't know, I've never been to India, but whenever I think about India, I think of either Dubai or, super poor. So then you could show someone in those tents, you know what I mean, living in a tent, and they'd be like, oh, they're broke, and I'd be rich in comparison with them. So the point is, whether the people I went to school with or not were actually broke, they had that mindset, you know what I mean? So I got to experience people who felt poor, which is very which if you feel poor, you're poor. You know what I mean? If you feel depressed, you're depressed. Whether your dad died or your dog died, if you go into depression, you know what I mean? It's the same feeling. Same with being poor. If you can't afford to even have food, and you feel poor, or you're looking at your neighbor's house, and your neighbor's house has 2 stories where you only have 1, but you get fed every night, you feel poor too. So it's the same feeling. So that's what I'm trying to target, because that's, if you want to find success or fulfillment or happiness, it all starts here. It's everything to do with the mental, And so I was just very inspired to, I don't know why, I just got in this kick. And so I just opened up my computer and I started writing out, okay, what is the first step? You know what I mean? What do you first do? And I was just talking about the vision, because with anything it's all about having the vision, because you have to visualize it, know what it looks like, and then try to take your life. And I always say imagine this is a picture, and there's all these pixels. You're trying to take all of the pixels from you and match them up. Or I guess a better way, that's usually how I think about it, but I guess a better way would be like, so if this is your desired life and this is your life now, you want to bring each finger together, and eventually it's going to be in alignment. It's going to be the same. You know what I mean? So it shows you what you need to work on, what your goals should be focused towards, and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's important because so whenever I saw this video, it resonated with me because I've been on this idea of like any time I've ever like been able to like learn or like truly understand or make change in someone is if I just like accept it. You know what I mean? Because growing up, I was very into politics, and now it's kind of like I know what I believe, but at the same time, I know that there's a lot that I don't know. You know what I mean? And I know it's the same for everyone. So I'll listen to a point of view, but I'll understand that that's coming from something where they might not know something yet. But I just receive what they told me, and I hold on to it, and I try to make sense of it. But at the same time, I also understand myself that there's something that I might not understand yet either. So it's just about like accumulating and collecting, and eventually like certain things, like certain ideas stick and makes a lot of sense, at least for now. But I always admit there just might be something that I'm not quite getting yet. You know what I mean? Like I always say like the best way to learn is to know like the right questions to ask, and so I just might not know what the right question to ask is quite yet, but I'll get there. You know what I mean? So I just hold on to it. But that made so like that's just been like my recent understanding or like revelation in my life, like something that I just realized. Because it's just been so relevant with like all the race stuff and a lot of things I see is like I don't know, but I'll still stand. You know what I mean? And I'm more passive about this stuff because I don't know, and I don't know. I don't think it's a racial matter, and I think it's actually harmful that we make it a racial matter. But I digress. So that's just why I was thinking about it a lot. But then it led me to more of this idea. You know what I mean? So it's just been all about like if I'm gonna understand how someone feels, I just need to receive. I know that their vision or their perception of their life could be very, very skewed based on what they're told or their culture or what they think or what they know. But still, I accept. Like I just receive. I receive. I'm like a camera. You know what I mean? Like with the lens open, the light just comes in. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's just like the best way to go about things. Like you don't make strong, or at least if you do make an opinion, you understand that you could be wrong. There's just something that you might be missing. But still, you just receive. You know what I mean? You don't let, because I know sometimes like that anger, like someone says something and just like sets you off. You know what I mean? But if you understand that, they might not know, you also don't know, it's kind of like, why get angry? I mean, if they're pointing out some holes in your argument, they're doing you a favor, really. Or holes in your belief, they're doing you a favor because you might not have seen that yet. But so anyway, finally I'm gonna get to what Joggy said. So Joggy was talking about somehow he got onto the topic of like how science has become a business. Science now is about, is this useful to me, rather than just trying to know. And that just like hit me so hard. You know what I mean? Because I thought that was so interesting that he said that, and it made a lot of sense. He said he actually says science and mysticism is all about just trying to know, because that's all we really want to do, is just know what is. You know what I mean? Like, is there a God? Is this real? Because, or is this just a perception? You know, everything we just want to know. And that's the birth of science. But now, he said, it's becoming where, you know, if you want to create some sort of technology or find some scientific discovery, you have to get funding. But in order to get funding, you have to prove that whatever you're going to look for is useful to people in some way, rather than just desiring to know and understand what is. And I don't necessarily think that is a problem, that, like, if you're gonna get funding, you know what I mean, I would want to invest in something that I think will better evolve humanity, you know what I mean? But he just points out, like, a cultural perspective, you know what I mean? He points out the fact that, like, we've lost the simple notion, I feel, of just, like, wanting to know and receive. Rather, we're all trying to make a point, you know what I mean? We're all trying to prove something right, you know what I mean? Rather than just sitting back and receiving, you know, being that open lens, we're just letting all the light come in and gathering and accumulating all this information, understanding that we don't understand every single piece of it, but knowing that, you know, we have it there. We can make assumptions, but that's all it is. It's just an assumption based off of what you know now. And it could be a strong assumption, you know what I mean? It could make a lot of sense. And I think debate is really good to sort of pick apart the argument. The problem is that debate becomes war, you know what I mean? Debate becomes, I'm right, and I don't know why yet, but I'm going to figure it out, you know what I mean? I feel like it should be more like, I think I'm right, and I'm going to go put it on the line to figure out where I might be wrong and how I can better understand and know this, you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's all. It just had me thinking a lot, and I was really inspired to talk about it and make this episode, but, yeah, I mean, but more like along the lines of the drop. Like, I feel like this episode was kind of more of like a food for thought-y type of thing, but, you know, I mean, whatever. But, sorry, showing off my hairy armpits, but, so yeah, I mean, so I've started, like, I realized, like, the whole Redbubble thing, I'm not passionate about it, or else I would have done it, you know what I mean? And I already said this, but I don't want to, you know what I mean? I feel like I should, if I'm going to be making some sort of income, unless I desperately need it, which I don't right now, I'm going to do what I like to do, you know what I mean? I don't want to waste my time on something that's going to ultimately just be something to make me money, you know what I mean? Like, I want things to have purpose, and it just makes me feel better about it, you know? But, I mean, I digress. It is what it is. I will say, though, that one project that I'm definitely going to start up is starting to put together this sort of curriculum and design this sort of schooling, sort of education type of thing that teaches leadership and this sort of this receiving idea. Because I definitely think that in order to be a good leader, you need to be able to receive. You know what I mean? People are looking for guidance, you know? And a lot of times if we have an idea of something that should be better, you are sort of like the beacon that is shooting out all this, you know what I mean? You're helping people understand this and helping better something. And then people hear it, they receive it, they get it, and then they follow you, you know what I mean? They agree with you and they follow you, and So that's kind of what I want to do. I want to create the lower class. I want to change the culture of the lower class to be more optimistic and business and leadership minded rather than victim minded, you know? Because if you believe you're a victim, you're going to be a victim. The same way if you believe that you're poor, you're going to be poor. Same way that if you feel depressed, you're depressed. You know what I mean? And it's all these up here. It's all the mentality that's going to change that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change the mentality and the culture of at least that area. Because I'm tired of people saying that they're held back by society. You know what I mean? That they are oppressed or don't have as much opportunity, because it's not true. Everyone has the same opportunity. It's just about reaching for it, desiring it, and knowing that you do have it. Because the first thing is you have to admit that you can have more. You have to tell yourself that I can have more and I will have more. Because as soon as you set that desire, now it's time to set the vision. Like, okay, so what does more look like? I want more. What does it look like? Does it look like Bill Gates? Does it look like George Bush? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to be the president? Do you want to be a lawyer? You know what I mean? So set what it looks like and start aligning your life with that. Shoot, I got passionate and got a rant. But anyway, so that's basically what's been up. It's been super chill for the most part this week so far, but I don't know. I'll check it next time. I'm gonna be starting some live streams. So next Sunday this will release. Monday I'm gonna have my first live stream. Thinking I might play a video game or something. So look forward to that, and that'll be cool. Maybe I might start like a let's play thing or something. Like my live stream would be like me playing a video game, and then I'm gonna release that to on the podcast. And still thinking about, like, should I call it like podcast 1, or should I be like the Pokemon Let's Play series, or like, I don't know, whatever. Or maybe if I draw, I'll be like the drawing series. I don't know, but we'll see how it turns out. Sunday is definitely gonna be the first episode. I mean, Monday is definitely gonna be the first one of those. So man, this went long. All right, check you later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, do other things, and check out other things. I made an Instagram, so if you want to, I need to start like posting on there more, updating and stuff like that. But anyway, I will check it out. It's Joshua T. Bryan 64, pretty sure. But just go check it out. It has my face on it. So anyway, all right, bye. This is getting long. I'll check you later.